Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. And I was going through some of my previous videos, reading comments and whatnot. And a couple months ago, I shared one of the ways that I've been investing and making money, and that's through crypto. So I wanted to do a crypto update. I made a video a couple months ago sharing how I was investing in crypto, and I started using what's known as a crypto trading bot, which I know seems super sketchy. And it's like, what are you talking about, Steve? We talk about eBay and Amazon here. But one of the things that I like to focus on, and a lot of people drop the ball on, is when they make money in the reselling business, a lot of times they fail to invest it. And that's the that's the true journey to wealth, is you have to make money, but you also have to keep it and invest it so it keeps growing. So, when I make money from my reselling businesses, I invested in things like real estate. I own a couple different properties. I invested in the stock market and index funds. And another thing that I do is, well, I obviously invested more in my business, but I invested in cryptocurrency, a small percentage of it. And recently, a couple months ago, I talked about a trading bot that I set up. I learned from a guy named Dan Holland. So you guys might know Dan Holland. He's one of the OGs in the Amazon space. He was one of the first people to really teach it, and he made a ton of money selling on Amazon. Well, he taught me all about this, and I'm gonna explain what it is. I'm gonna explain the good and the bad, because I did a lot of smart things by following Dan, but I also veered off course and got cocky and made some mistakes and lost a bunch of money. I ultimately ended up doing really well, and I've actually doubled my money over the last couple of months, but I could have made way more if I didn't do some dumb things. So I know a lot of people are gonna ask, well, how do you set up the trading bot? How do you do it all? Dan actually has a free live training that's going down on, I believe, September 13th at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll put a link down below, because I know there's going to be a ton of questions coming in, and I'm not an expert when it comes to all of this. I'm still learning, but it just goes to prove you could, be a beginner and follow a mentor or learn a couple things and apply it and make some decent money. So over the last couple of months, I ended up doubling my investment that I put in crypto. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's all because of what I learned from Dan, because it's not. 80% of the gain that I made out of that double, that 100% that I made, was because I was invested in Ethereum and Cardano, and they popped. They exploded. So I ended up crushing it with that. But what's great about the crypto trading bot is it literally just earns you passive income every single day. It literally just trades inside of a grid. So you set up a grid. This is what Dan teaches. So if you go to the webinar, you'll learn about it. But he uses a software called Bitsgap. And essentially what you do is you set up a trading grid. So think about a grid and think about maybe a price kind of moving from day to day. It goes up 5%, down 7%, up 3%. Well, what we do is we set up this trading grid. And as long as that crypto trades in between that grid, which is a really large gap, you literally just earn income on it. It's like a real estate property. So sometimes, a real estate property might go up and down in value, but you don't really care as long as the tenants are paying you rent, because you're making that cash flow every month. And that long term, the property is going to appreciate long term. And it's the same thing with the cryptocurrency. And that's my strategy. That's what Dan teaches. That's what we're doing is, and this actually ties into a lot of the mistakes that I made, because I was a dum-dum, I wasn't following Dan. You want to invest in coins that you believe in. Like I truly believe in like Cardano, Polkadot, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I like other ones like Cosmos. There's a bunch of ones that I like, but there's thousands and thousands and thousands of crypto projects out there. And I started to get cocky, and I started to, the way it works is certain coins can make you a lot more money on a daily basis. Like, again, think about collecting rent from the tenant. In real estate, you can go to certain, I'm here in Connecticut. If I went out to Hartford, into the city, and into some of the lower income areas, I could buy properties for a lot less, and I could cash flow a lot more, but they're riskier. They're so much riskier because the tenants, there's a lot of crime and violence, there's gangs, there's things that are going on, there's houses that go up in flames all the time. The tenants typically tend to beat up the properties a bit more, but I could cash flow more. I could make more money on a day-to-day, but long-term, those houses don't typically tend to appreciate as well. The houses get beat up. There's a lot more risk and volatility involved. And it's the same kind of example with some of these coins out there. There's a lot of coins that, I had a crypto bot set up on one of the coins, and it was making almost $150 a day on that coin, and I was crushing it. And I was like, and Dan didn't give this advice. I was following his program, and I set up a couple bots that were making 10, 20, 30 bucks a day, but I got cocky and I started investing in these pump and dump coins, and I didn't really understand things enough because I was new, and I was crushing it, for a week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden a couple of these coins dumped off and I lost a ton of money on these coins. Overall though, I crushed it so much with Ethereum and Cardano with the other coins that overall, after all the pieces were cleaned off the table, I did double my investment over the last couple of months. So that was great. And again, most of it came from the gains of Ethereum and Cardano, but I gained an extra 20% by using the crypto bots. So overall, what I want to say is, if you do go to Dan's training, or if you are invested in crypto, and this is just my, I'm not an expert, right? My non-expert opinion, get into projects and coins that you believe in. And that's kind of how I follow with like my real estate investing, and everybody can do it differently. I'm sure there's people who are in the pump and dump coins and know how to do it. I don't mess with that stuff because I'm not good at it, but it's the same with real estate. Some people like the lower income neighborhoods. They understand them, they get it, they're able to make it work. But for me, like with my real estate properties, they're in B neighborhoods. They're in good neighborhoods. There's good tenants. They tend to get beat up a lot less. There's a lot less maintenance calls. The tenants typically stay. They're a bit better with their finances. And I'm not discriminating or anything, right? I'm not saying what's right or wrong with crypto or real estate investing, but for me, that works best for me. And I kind of got burned by getting into some of the coins that I didn't trust, the projects that I didn't really believe in, the projects that didn't really have the utility, right? So I've been doing really, really well. I'm creating new coins. I'm learning a ton more, and I didn't even realize it, but with the crypto bots, I mean, it goes deep. That's why I'm saying, like, go check out the training that Dan's putting on. And I'm not here to just promote the training. The only reason I am is because there's a lot to learn, and I know I'm going to get a ton of questions, and people are going to ask, well, Steve, what about this coin? What about how do you set up the trading grids, this and that? Just go to his training. It's 100% free. Obviously, there's an opportunity there to take it to another level. But you don't have to. I would just go learn, and I got a bunch of messages the last time I talked about his free training, which was a couple months ago, and that's how I learned about it. I took his training about 3 months ago. Got a bunch of messages from people who are having success, but you got to be smart. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update. Things are going really, really well with that. I am only putting a small percentage of my income. I haven't been adding any more since my last update. I'm just getting smarter and trying to make better decisions, because for me and I talked about it in yesterday's video, it's about like the tortoise and the hare, right? I don't need to be the hare that like jumps out and goes crazy and makes all these crazy huge risks. Like, I'm slowly building my net worth. That's the goal. Right now my net worth's around 600K. I made a video updating that. If you just type in Rake and Profit net worth, I broke all that down. So I'm trying to get to that $1 million mark. There's no need for me to have to take a crazy risk and put 150K into crypto, because crypto is very, very volatile. It goes up and down. And at the end of the day, as confident as I could be in crypto and as confident as I am in the future of the blockchain, nobody knows what's going to happen. And I was just talking to a couple of friends the other day. I feel like crypto's kind of in a place right now where the internet was like in the late 90s or the early 2000s. Like, there's so many different opportunities. And I think long term, crypto is going to absolutely change the world. The way the world is, just how everything's done, from transactions to payment processors. A lot of people are thinking, well, I don't believe in crypto because we're not going to be giving up the dollar, and it's too volatile to spend his money. Like, that's the last step. That's something that's coming, I believe, in like 10, 20, 30 years maybe. But there's so many other uses for crypto and the blockchain and smart contracts and just the way that people in the world transact. I mean, it's just, research it. I put out a post the other day saying, like, if you're not spending 3-4 hours a week at least learning about this, you're going to miss out on one of the largest wealth transfers. But back to my example of like the internet in the early 2000s, if you look back, there were probably like 95% of the companies that failed. But if you got in with those 5% that, ended up succeeding, kind of like Amazon, you could absolutely crush it. So what I'm saying now is, like, now's the time to research and learn and be smart with your money. Don't put all of it into one project. Like, diversify it. Only put enough money in that you can maybe gamble with. Like, 5 or 10% of your net worth. I'm not here to tell you what to put into it, but there's going to be some really game-changing projects that change the world, but a lot of them are probably going to fail. So you got to be smart with that. And also, remember back when the internet was like so new? Like, remember in the early 2000s, like you wanted to log on to the internet and it was like making a million different noises. It was like the most I can't do sound effects, but it was like that loud, screechy like noise to log on. And remember how like slow the internet was and nobody trusted credit cards and everything was done like in really weird, inefficient ways? That's the way I see like blockchain and crypto right now. Like everything's very inefficient. So I think there's going to be a lot of improvements and growth, and there's going to be like new utilities that change the way the world is done and improve upon things. So you want to be in a place now where you could kind of like, you want to have a good foundation. You want to understand how to trade coins, how to invest, how to buy and sell. Having a crypto trading bot is just a plus because you could earn income on your investments to reduce your risk, kind of like, earning rent from your tenants, right? Cash flow. So just want to share a little bit of an update. Check out Dan's training. I'll put a link below. I'm going to be there as well to continue to learn because this topic is deep, and I'll keep you guys posted every couple months or so how I'm doing. But with that being said, much love and have a great day.